Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Monday edition of Litter Media Live on this September 15th of 2025. I'm Dan Ramey, and in studio with me is Mr. Hand 2, a.k.a. Aaron Glandon. Sounds like the Mr. Hand thing was what you were born with, right?
Yeah.
And then they decided to give him a name. But, we've reversed that, and I apologize. But there you can see, it says Aaron Glandon right there on the screen. Good to have you with us as well. We're going to tell you, full disclosure, we have had some difficulties with our website this weekend. So if you look at it today, at this very moment, and when I say that, we're talking live just after 11 a.m. Eastern time on a Monday, you're probably seeing news from February of 2022. We are trying to get that rectified this morning. So forgive us, please. It's out of our hands. We're waiting on someone to fix it for us. So,
but we do have beneficial news you can use right here.
Yes,
on our daily show.
Precisely. So we just wanted to get that out of the way first. I did see our website came back Sunday evening, and I'm like, oh, okay, everything's fixed. And then this morning we wake up and we see that it's a step back in time to 2022 again. So please bear with us. We appreciate your patience. Going to take a look at the forecast for you here today, and the weather's still going to be sunshiny and no real threats of rain at all this week. Sunny skies, temperatures reach the mid-80s both today and tomorrow, then the low 80s by midweek. Our overnight lows will be much like what you saw this morning when we got up, about 62 degrees for your overnight lows. There's a possibility of some rain later in the week, maybe Friday or Saturday. Fingers crossed on that for a lot of folks who just can't wait for some rain. It's been dusty out there. I was walking through the back yard of the church yesterday with my granddaughter, Amelia, and we were talking about how crunchy the grass feels.
Yeah.
Walk on it because it's so dry. So it is that crunch, crunch, crunch sound. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll tell you about news that you can use this morning. Also, just ahead, sports and this date in history. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. You know them as your trusted comfort advisor. If you are an Accurate customer, you know their details and everything about giving the service, and that they pay attention to the tiny details. That's why they are your trusted comfort advisor. But if you're not an Accurate customer, check them out. Go to this ad anywhere you see it. I would normally say on our website. I think it still links to theirs. Today might be an exception just due to our weather or our website issues. At any rate, here is their web address. If you've never known it before, AccurateHVAC.com.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc. Minimally invasive spinal surgery got him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Throughout the day, take a look at our website. Hopefully we'll have things squared away for you, and you'll be able to follow along with some of the stories we're sharing for you today. But in the meantime, we're going to just tell you about them. We're going to do it the old broadcast way back before there were websites.
Yeah.
In that regard. Ohio Christian University invites the community to campus for a special day of worship and tradition building. It's coming up Tuesday, October 7th. The morning will begin with the University Chapel service at 9:25 in the Ministry and Performing Arts Center, located right at the front of the campus. President R.D. Saunders will deliver a message to students, faculty, staff, alumni, and guests. And immediately following the service at 10:15, the university will launch a new annual tradition of planting an oak tree. And this will be done near the Dr. David Case Clock Tower. The initiative, called Oaks of Righteousness, will honor each incoming class with the planting of an oak tree, symbolizing growth, strength, and faith. The inaugural tree will be planted in honor of the class of 2029. I will tell you from personal knowledge of having been there for the induction of the new president, his inauguration, so to speak. The Oaks of Righteousness were very much a theme of his presentation. And when he was at Nipshin Camp this past summer and spoke, again, it was all about the Oaks of Righteousness. In fact, he says the kids have come out with a way of hand signaling Oaks of Righteousness.
How do they do that?
He said, you'll watch them and they'll be going around when they see me on campus and they'll go like this. And it is to plant roots for Oaks of Righteousness. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
That is pretty cool.
Looks like you're hanging up the phone.
It does. But way to go to the kids at Ohio Christian University.
Yeah. The Historical Aircraft Squadron Museum invites the public to swing back to the 1940s at its 29th annual USO-Style Hangar Dance on Saturday, September 20th, that's this Saturday, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Hangar B at the Fairfield County Airport. The evening will feature live music from the Nostalgics Big Band, a full spread of barbecue favorites, door prizes, a 50-50 raffle, and soft drinks available for purchase. Guests are encouraged to dress in 1940s attire, with prizes awarded for the best looks. So that's something to look forward to this Saturday up in Fairfield County.
Up at the Statehouse in Columbus, they have something extra special for you. It's a paper airplane contest supporting charity in the atrium of the Ohio Statehouse. September 17th from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. this coming Wednesday. Mike and I were there for a tour of the Statehouse, and this is the perfect spot if you want to fly a paper airplane right there in the Statehouse. Recommended donation of $5 is suggested, and everyone welcome to make a paper airplane and fly it for the chance to win the 2025 Wright Brothers Classic. You can learn more at Ohio Statehouse on their Twitter handle, I believe is what that is.
I would assume that's
probably
their
their Facebook handle. Yeah. So check that out. It might be worth driving up to Columbus for Wednesday just to say, watch this paper airplane and let it sail.
Ross County WIC senior breastfeeding peer Rebecca Townsend has secured a donation of nursing and pumping bras worth $10,470 from Simple Wishes, a maternity and postpartum clothing company. The brand donated a total of 349 bras ranging from small to plus size in various colors and styles to Pickaway and Ross County WIC. WIC is allotted approximately $300 per year for bras and camis for breastfeeding clients. Rebecca Townsend's donation equals what WIC would be allotted for bras over 40 years.
Wow.
So that's big.
That's pretty huge right there. That's a lot of, as I was a kid, remember calling them slingshots. That's a lot of slingshots. Double-barreled slingshots. Our road report for you today, a pedestrian safety improvement project is taking place on West and East Main Streets in Logan. Work is taking place on the shoulder and the sidewalk next to the roadway. Flaggers are maintaining traffic during daytime hours. A 15-foot lane restriction is in place. Their estimated completion is the end of September. Coming up in a moment to look at sports, and that includes some difficult news for Bengals fans. Details in just a bit. But let's tell you about Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. You can visit them online at hometown-motors.com and find out more about the Skag Inventory clearance sale, which is going on right now. If you have never had the chance to use a Skag, but maybe you've heard people talk about how great mowing with a Skag is, and once you've used a Skag, you'll never go back, now's the time, because you'll find these models and you'll find these prices that are lower than anything else you'll find all across the country. So if you want to learn more, just simply stop in at Hometown Motors. Remember, today's Monday, so they're only open until 2 o'clock on Mondays. But the rest of the week, you'll find them 9 to 5. That's online at hometown-motors.com. Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the great outdoors. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Time for sports, and make sure you check out our Facebook page where you can go and you can see photos that were taken by our Hayden Brown helping us out over the weekend of the Litter Media Game of the Week between Huntington and Unioto. Shermans were the winners of this contest, and you'll also get an opportunity to hear the post-game interviews as well. We've got links to all that on our website and also on our Facebook page for you today, as well as our Litter Media X. We have yet to determine what our Litter Media Game of the Week is going to be this Friday night, so stick close for that. Breaking news later this week. Our Haynes Total Healthcare Center High School scoreboard is also available on our website. I did see that there were some results up there last night that Mike was able to update from Saturday's events, as well as all of the high school games going on Friday night for high school football. But volleyball matches, tennis matches, cross country, all that stuff was, and soccer, all that was on the Haynes Total Healthcare High School scoreboard, and our fingers are crossed to get that fixed today so you can go back and peruse it again, and hopefully we'll be able to have it ready to go so that you can watch and learn more about the results from today's events as well. I can't get over the fact that our website's not working right now. I must push on. Chillicothe boys and West Union girls won the cross-country team titles Saturday at Southeastern High School in the Aaron Reed Memorial Cross Country Invitational. Cavaliers dominated with the individual boys race going to Jaden Beverly, who is tough. Chillicothe then had runners that placed third, then places 5 through 11. Avery Whiteman from Washington Courthouse, she's tough too. She was the individual runner-up. On the girls' side, West Union won the team crown followed by Miami Trace. Adina's Vanessa Conley is the individual girls runner. She's also pretty tough. Allie Knecht, or is it Connect? I can't remember if is it silent K or not. Of Miami Trace was the individual runner-up. After the OU Bobcats pulled within 13-9 of OSU in the third quarter, the Buckeyes pulled away, showed their strength, 37-9 victory, and improved to 3-0 on the season. OSU has a bye this weekend before traveling to Washington on September 27th to face the Huskies. The Bobcats return home this coming Saturday to host Gardner-Webb. The Bengals were off to a 2-0 start. They had to win this in the last second yesterday afternoon. A 31-27 win. Browning goes over, gets the touchdown. There you see him right there. And you're going to see a lot more of him because from what CBS Sports is reporting this morning, Joe Burrow has a toe injury which requires surgery, and he will likely miss 3 months of play.
What a blow to the Bengals.
That is a huge blow. But Browning, he threw 3 interceptions yesterday, but he does have a way of making things happen. We saw that when Joe was hurt the last time. For the Bengals, next Sunday, they will be in Minnesota. The Vikings fell to Atlanta last night, 22-6.
And J.J. McCarthy isn't looking too good either.
He is not. He is not. Browns clobbered the Ravens yesterday, 41-17.
They were clobbered by the Ravens.
Did I say that it?
You said they clobbered the Ravens.
Browns clobbered
untrue.
by the Ravens yesterday, 41-17. I'm suffering from a head injury from watching the game. The Browns are back home Sunday with the Green Bay Packers, who defeated the Commanders last Thursday.
You didn't need to mention that.
27-18, but who's keeping score, right?
You didn't need to say that.
Reds missed an opportunity to gain ground in the wild card race as they were swept by the A's over the weekend. I can't explain it. They couldn't score Friday. They come out, they jump and get the lead Saturday, and they do the same thing and can't hang on to it. What's going on to you? What's happening? They're 2.5 games back to the Mets, with Arizona and the Giants slightly ahead of them, and just a 1.5 game lead over the Cardinals, who they open a series with tonight in St. Louis as they begin their first of the final 4 series of the season. After St. Louis, the road just gets tougher. They're home with Chicago for 4 games, 3 with the Pirates, and then 3 in Milwaukee. Let's see if Tito can reach into that magic bag and get them in gear. The Guardians, meanwhile, are also 2.5 games back in the AL wildcard race. They swept the White Sox, a 3-2 decision on Sunday. They'll open up a set in Detroit tomorrow night, then push on to Minnesota through next weekend. Coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date on this date in history. Details coming up next.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about our metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world with multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Time for the educational portion of our program. a.k.a. this date in history. So we go back to 1858. The new Overland Mail Company sends out its first 2 stages, inaugurating governmental mail service between the eastern and western regions of the nation, under the guidance of the board of directors that included John Butterfield and William Fargo. The Overland Mail Company spent $1 million improving its winding 2,800-mile route and building the way stations at 10 to 15-mile intervals. Teams of thundering horses soon raced across the wide-open spaces of the West, pulling custom-built Concorde coaches with seats for 9 passengers and a rear boot for the U.S. Mail. Might angle that a little bit to get the glare off from the. There you go.
There's the boot.
Yeah, that's the boot with the U.S. Mail in it. And there at the other side, you see this is the boot of one of the horses. This was drawn during the sportscast, by the way. Or,
yes.
The commercials leading into the sportscast, just to throw that out there for you.
On a time crunch today.
That is this date in history. Had a conversation earlier today with Brent Sherritt. We talked about the Sorghum Festival, which is coming up the last full weekend of September. Is that on our YouTube channel already?
Yes, it is.
It is? Okay, so you can check that out if you know a little bit about sorghum. You might be interested in the conversation. If you've never heard of the Sorghum Festival, we hope we sparked your interest there, too, to learn more about it. And head down and check it out in Scioto County, the 27th and 28th of September. Mike's back with us again tomorrow, and we will look for you then at that moment in time. For Mr. Hand 2, a.k.a. Aaron Glandon, I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching this edition of Litter Media Live.